Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Starting next Wednesday, you'll need to wear a mask in public within the city limits of Charleston.
Today, City Council passed a resolution making it mandatory for 60 days.
Paula Tristan Arruda joins us live now, and Paula, City Council members say this had overwhelming support.
Well, City Council members have been talking to their constituents, and it seems like the majority of people were in favor of this. Although there are some people that aren't too fond of it, there was that overwhelming support.
Soon, when you enter a restaurant, retail store, or any public building within the city of Charleston, you'll be required to wear a mask.
It's for your protection. It's for the protection of people you come in contact with. We've got to do this. I think this is for the general health of our community.
The city of Charleston says it's taking a proactive approach to help curb the number of COVID-19 cases by making the masks mandatory.
There's a broad consensus that masks work, and masks are the easiest thing we can do at this time to help curb this spread.
During tonight's City Council meeting, council members heard from one doctor who says the worst is yet to come, which is why he suggested moving forward with the ordinance.
Indoor mask wearing and limiting the size of crowds, particularly in bars, is, I think, going to be your low-hanging fruit.
All but one city council member voted in support of the ordinance. Councilman Harry Griffin wanted more answers from the city about what happened the night of May 30th when riots broke out on King Street.
I'm voting no. I'm not going to put any more regulations on our citizens until we get some answers on what happened that night.
For those caught breaking the rules, the mayor says the emphasis will be on educating them and not on enforcement. But a $50 ticket can be given to them.
The full list of where masks are required and the exemptions is on our website, live5news.com. Reporting live in Charleston, I'm Paula Tristan, Live 5 News.
All right, thanks, Paula. And other Low Country cities and towns are considering mandating masks, and they're voting on it tomorrow. They include Edisto Beach. Leaders will meet on the issue tomorrow morning. The Isle of Palms, they meet tomorrow afternoon. They're considering mandating in retail and food places. Mount Pleasant also meeting in the afternoon. The mayor there, Will Haney, says he wants to make sure businesses stay open and schools are safe.
North Charleston not mandating the use of masks, but the city's mayor strongly encouraging them. Mayor Keith Summey says he doesn't want to get to the point where the city has to fine people for not wearing a mask. Today, the town of Goose Creek voted not to require masks, but instead strongly encourage people to wear them.
And this all comes as our state's COVID-19 caseload nears 29,000. That's a number of people diagnosed since the pandemic began. State health experts announced 1,100 new cases today, more than 200 of them in Charleston County alone. 2 employees at a James Island Recreation Center have tested positive for the virus. Charleston City officials say the island's recreation complex will be closed through the weekend now. The employees who tested positive haven't been at work since last Friday, but the center is closing as a precaution and for cleaning. All summer camps, pool sessions, and gymnastics lessons are set to start up again on Monday. Municipal Court in Somerville is closed until further notice after an employee there tested positive. The town plans to clean and sanitize the court. While in-person services are suspended until further notice, you can still process some items virtually. For the full information, you can go to live5news.com and look for this story on our homepage.
As the number of COVID-19 cases continue to rise, doctors want to make sure that you're aware of what to do if you come into close contact with someone who's positive for the virus. So what do you do? Doctors with Roper St. Francis say you should call your doctor if you're having symptoms like fever, shortness of breath, or loss of taste and smell. Doctors also say even if you've had high exposure to the virus, you should get tested, or you shouldn't get tested right away.
If you were exposed to a case and you potentially were infected, the test is not going to come out to be positive for 3 to 5 days at the earliest, or when you develop symptoms.
Doctors say everyone should still be vigilant in public by practicing social distancing and, of course, wearing a face mask.
The Dorchester District 2 is forming a task force to help students and staff get back into the classrooms this fall. The district says nearly 16,000 parents took a survey. 71% of them prefer their students to learn face-to-face come the fall. About a quarter prefer 100% virtual learning. All students will get a laptop or iPad for planned learning at home this fall. And check with your school district. Many of them have similar surveys out for parents to fill out.
To college campuses, College of Charleston officials giving some more insight about what living on campus during the pandemic might look like this fall. Campus officials say they'll only fill about 70% of residence halls to encourage social distancing. No students will live in the Buste Rivers dorm. It's being reserved for anyone who may have a COVID-19 exposure and needs to be isolated. First-year students have priority in living on campus. College officials say they could lose about $3 million in revenue because of these changes. Now, over at the University of South Carolina, they are also expanding on their plans to get students back on campus. The university requires all faculty and students to get COVID-19 testing before they return to campus. Now, if someone tests positive, well, the university is ready to use contact tracing to identify who might have come in contact with the infected person. Classes are set to begin August 20th.
Right now, deputies in Beaufort County are asking you to be on the lookout for a man wanted for a kidnapping. The sheriff's office says 43-year-old Israel Baisden is considered armed and dangerous. He's wanted in connection to an incident on Ladies Island last night. He faces charges of domestic violence and kidnapping. If you know where he is or if you see him, you're asked to call 911.
A live look outside over downtown Charleston. Mainly clear skies, but it is hot and muggy as we start out or round out the work week. Wow. Week's almost over. Meteorologist Stephanie Sign in the Weather Center to let us know what the weekend is looking like.
That is right, guys. The heat is going to stick around, really starting off tomorrow and also into the weekend. You can see right now we're at 78 degrees, light southwesterly wind. Today's high temperature, you're not going to see this weekend. It was only 86 degrees. We saw lots of cloud coverage this morning, and that really did keep temperatures a bit lower from where they should be this time of the year. We should be right around 90 degrees. Did not happen today, but tomorrow, promise you things will feel warmer and also very humid also into the weekend. You can see current temperatures, we're back into the 70s for most of the region. Overnight lows in the low 70s, so we really don't have too far to go here for those overnight low temperatures. But even better news, it's going to be dry. Unlike last night, it was a very noisy, soggy night for some folks, actually, as we tracked storms at this hour. However, things a little different tonight. Dry right now, but what about Friday? We'll have the full forecast coming up.
The results of a runoff election from Tuesday are being challenged. Dion Tedder defeated James Johnson in the race for State House District 109. That includes parts of Charleston, North Charleston, and Mount Pleasant. However, Johnson filed a complaint stating that Tedder had been ruled ineligible for the position just the day before the runoff. He claims his name shouldn't have been on the ballot. A special hearing is scheduled for Monday in Circuit Court.
Well, coming up, a Kingstree woman is left a voicemail filled with racial slurs, how she's reacting, and what she's asking of the community.